Hello everyone and welcome to TYBSc Physics Laboratory. Today we are going to see common emitter amplifier. Okay, practical on common emitter amplifier. Okay, now as the amplifier word comes, you all now remember over here we have to study common emitter amplifier. Okay, so let me show you the circuit diagram. This is the circuit of it. Let me disconnect everything first of all, then we will connect one by one so that it will be more appropriate. Okay, now as you can see here, an NPN transistor is been connected. An NPN transistor is been connected. Okay, this is the board circuit diagram which we have to use. Okay, now as we know that transistor will have three terminals, that is collector, base and emitter. Okay, transistor will have three terminals, collector, base and emitter. Now we have to study common, as the transistor will have three terminal, collector, base and emitter. Our practical is common emitter amplifier. Now what do you mean by common emitter? Okay, now the simplest thing from the word which we can understand is common emitter. You can see this is the emitter terminal, this is the emitter terminal. Remember, the terminal which is having this kind of arrow is the emitter terminal. Okay, this is an NPN transistor, so the terminal is having an arrow outward. If it is an PNP transistor, then you will have inside arrow. Okay, that is nothing but the flow of charge. Now you can see that this emitter terminal is being common. You can see that this is the input part and this is the output part. Okay, this emitter terminal is been connected through the emitter resistance RE, that is emitter biasing resistance, and connected to common. We can see that the emitter terminal is common between input and output. Okay, this is common, emitter terminal is common between input and output. That is why it is been known as common emitter amplifier. Okay, now we will see some of the another terms. We can see over here a capacitor CC1 is connected and capacitor CC2 is connected. Okay, this is nothing but the coupling capacitor from the output to the another stage if you are having, and this is the capacitor which is been used to couple the input to the transistor. Okay, now resistance R1 and R2, this resistance R1 and R2 are the biasing resistance. Okay, resistance R1 and R2 are the biasing resistance, and RL, this is the value of RL, this is the RL resistance is connected across this terminal, then this is known as collector terminal. Okay, this load resistance RL is connected to the collector terminal of an amplifier circuit. Okay, so this is all about the amplifier circuit. This is the input terminal and this are the output terminal. Okay, now first of all we require three things, that is we require a fixed power supply, we require a signal generator, okay, and we require a digital AC millivoltmeter. Over here we have to supply the input frequency by using this signal generator, and output voltage is been measured in this digital AC millivoltmeter, and this has been used to provide a DC supply. That is, we need to have plus 12 volt, we need to have plus 12 volt and go. This is all about the requirements. Now in finding out to study the frequency response of common emitter amplifier. Okay, we are interested in finding the frequency response of common emitter amplifier. Okay, and we will change the frequency and we will find out the output. Now for the input voltage we need to set 20 millivolt. Okay, input voltage has to be set to 20 millivolt. So first of all, before going to the operation of the circuit, let us connect the output of this signal generator directly to this millivoltmeter. Okay, so you can see this is the output, this is the output, and I have connected directly this output to AC millivoltmeter. Okay, to AC millivoltmeter. Okay, now using this level knob, using this level knob, you can see you can actually vary the input terminal. Okay, you have to set 20 millivolt. Remember, this is 16, 17, 18 and 20.3. okay, so we have set the input. Okay, as it is been shown in the synopsis, this is your synopsis part, this is your synopsis part. Okay, let me show you the synopsis. You have to set 20 millivolt as the input, and we have set 20 millivolt over here. You can see with respect to the input. Okay, remember, while setting this 20 millivolt, you have to set 1 kilohertz frequency. You have to set it at 1 kilohertz frequency. Okay, so this input is been settled now. Okay, now what we will do is we will connect this AC millivolt meter to the output. Let me connect to the output terminal. So I have connected this digital AC millivolt meter to the output. You can see to the output of the circuit. Okay, and this AFO or signal generator I have connected to this wire, and through that I have connected to the input. Okay, so this is the circuit connection. Now we need to provide the supply, that is I have connected using this banana pin wire to the power source. Okay, so this is connected to the supply, constant DC supply. Okay, now let us make the circuit on. Okay, we have to set 12 volt. I have already set 12 volt. Let us adjust it further. So okay, this is near about 12 volt. Now what we can see is you can see the voltage is amplified. We have just given 20 millivolt and our output voltage is 2.3 volt. You can see it is 2.3 volt. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to start taking the frequency from lowest frequency, that is 10 hertz. Okay, and you have to measure the corresponding voltage. Now one important thing, over here you have the value of R1 and R2. Okay, those are fixed, but you can also have the option to vary the value of R1 and R2. Okay, you can also have the option to vary the value of R1 and R2. Okay, so let us connect those things over here and vary the value of R1 and R2. Okay, if we vary the value of R1 and R2, as we have connected and changed the value, you can see there is a sudden change in the value of the voltage. There is a sudden change in the value of amplification. Okay, so this is nothing but the effect of change in the biasing resistance R1 and R2. Okay, further we want to study the frequency response, right? We want to study the frequency response of an amplifier. Means we will change the frequency of the input signal, and we will note down the output voltage. Okay, we will note down the output voltage. Okay, now you can see that we have 0.20 hertz, that is very low frequency, and we have the output voltage. Now what we will do is we will vary step by step the frequency of the input signal. We will vary the frequency of the input signal and we will note down the output voltage. Okay, I am changing with respect to the multiplication of 10 frequency. You can see the note down, or you can note down the output voltage. There will be small changes in the output voltage, it will be there. Okay, that you have to note down. Okay, and maximum you have to go up to 2 megahertz. Okay, so this is the output voltage you have to note down. Now let us see the readings which has been already performed by our last year students. So this is the change in the frequency you can see this is the change in the output voltage, and you have to find out the gain AV, that is V0 by Vi. Okay, that is AV. You have to find out this gain. Once you have completed taking this reading, then you have to calculate the gain as we have already done, and you have to plot the graph of gain versus frequency on a semi-log graph paper to find the bandwidth of it. Okay, so this is a kind of pattern of graph you will be getting at the output. Now let us see the graph. We can see graph over here. Okay, this is the frequency range, this is the gain, okay, on y-axis, frequency on x-axis. You can see that as the frequency increases, it's gone increasing. At one point it's got stable and it's got come down. Okay, now using this we have to find out the bandwidth of it. Okay, that is bandwidth is equals to f2 minus f1, and that is near about 700 kilohertz. Now how you will find out bandwidth? You will find out bandwidth using this maximum gain divided by root 2. Okay, you will divide by root 2, then you will get some point. At some point you will get this point, can be the two frequencies f1 and f2. Using that you can find out the bandwidth of an amplifier. Okay, so this is all about common emitter amplifier. Okay, thank you.